This is Andrew Klavan on The Culture. Today, in a hard-hitting expose, we're going to take a look at a form of religious hatred that has become rife here in America. I'm speaking, of course, about Satanophobia, bigotry against Satan worshipers. One of this nation's founding principles is freedom of worship, and yet every day throughout the land, people feel justified in speaking insensitively of the Prince of Darkness, as if he were, the Prince of Darkness. This sort of calling things what they are has got to stop, especially when it comes to religion. How would it be if we went around saying, for instance, that the madmen who murdered 3,000 people on September 11th were inspired by their religion?
You're outraged about Muslims killing us on 9/11.
That's right. Whoopi and Joy would walk off their own show and stand around in the green room. Then we would have no Whoopi or Joy, because without Joy, there can be no Whoopi. That's why Americans are joining together to protect our minds from this sort of unbridled descriptive behavior. For instance, we're all willing to show our TNA to the TSA and even the other way around to keep from pointing out that while most Muslims, of course, aren't terrorists, most terrorists right now are in fact Muslims. Exactly. No Whoopi, no Joy. Likewise, when a Sharia imperialist like Ayman Faisal Abdul Rauf spearheads an effort to build a triumphalist mosque near Ground Zero, we all chip in to pretend he's a moderate and to support this despicably unkind behavior in order to avoid saying that the mosque is inappropriate because the 9/11 massacre was committed by radical Muslims. And there they go again. The point is, religions are sacred. Otherwise, they wouldn't be called religions. They would be called systems of metaphysical ideas that can be discussed, criticized, and even ridiculed by free people with free minds. And we wouldn't want that. No civilized person would defend desecrating Christian symbols, for instance, or go around attacking Christians for their opinions about homosexual marriage. Of course not. So, if we can protect other religions from the insult of free thinking, argument, discussion, and mockery, surely we shouldn't allow this rampant and open bigotry against devil worship. Satanism, after all, is the religion of peace. Okay, maybe it's the religion of unspeakable evil. But is unspeakable evil really so bad?
Do something, Doctor, please help her.
Sure, occasionally you get the odd little girl here and there twisted into excruciating contortions as her soul is forcibly dragged into eternal hellfire. But the vast majority of little girls are going about their lives in peace and growing into healthy adult women with disgustingly curvaceous shapes that must be hidden away to keep me from falling into lustful desire and sin. What was I saying? Oh yeah, look. Most people who worship Satan are harmless, innocent drunks and perverts who probably can't even work up the energy to commit the sort of sexual atrocities and human sacrifices their religion calls for. And yet millions of Americans think nothing of gathering together in so-called churches where they openly sing the praises of Satan's sworn enemy. How would they like it if someone worshiped the sworn enemy of their God, namely Satan? Now, some of you in the audience may be saying, Klavan on The Culture, that's unfair. You say we shouldn't criticize religions, yet there you are, criticizing Christianity for worshiping the anti-satanic deity of goodness and love. Well, who asked you what you think? Stupid audience. We must understand that if we're going to commit ourselves to multicultural sensitivity, then all forms of worship must be treated with equal respect, including the worship of absolute evil. Because if all religions are good, then evil is good. So, hooray for Satan. It's satire. I'm kidding, right? We all know that Satan is bad. This is Andrew Klavan on The Culture.